Thank you for tuning in to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Whether you're listening during your commute, while working out, or just relaxing at home, we appreciate you. Every download, every listen, and every subscription means a lot. Up next, the 12 Kyle podcast.
Don't lose yourself.
Mm.
It's okay to want to be there for the person you're with and to show them that they have your support, but when it's time to let go, or if you have inkling that it's time to let go, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the end, but understanding that sometimes people aren't in the right place to give you what you need.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading, and thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I am your boy 12 Kyle. I want to thank you all for tuning in as you do each and every week. Shout out to those of you who are watching on YouTube as well as Spotify. Man, check this out. All right, so on this episode, we're going to do something a little different. Before I even get into what we're going to talk about, as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube and Spotify, we have a guest. Actually, she's not a guest. She's here every time. The homie from the podcast, I Can Talk About This All Day. My girl Britt is back in the building. Britt, what's up?
What's up? It's been more frequent lately. I like this.
Right. Yeah, I think it feels like we just recorded like last week, and we may have. I don't know.
I think we did.
No, okay. So when we recorded last week, was it on my podcast or your podcast?
That was mine because we did the remix to yours, but we did
the remix. So check that out. Check it out. Check out all of her episodes. I Can Talk About This All Day podcast. You can find it wherever you're watching and listening to this podcast. Every Friday, without fail, she's dropping new episodes. But I wanted to get you on this episode because I was watching another podcast. Most of you are probably familiar with Sean Stockman, the singer, composer, artist, member of the hit group Boys to Men. He has a podcast called Sean Stockman's On That Note. And this particular episode, he was interviewing Jemele Hill. If you're familiar with sports, you know Jemele Hill. She's a sports writer, activist, philanthropist, fellow podcaster as well. And they were talking about her background and things of that nature. And he asked her a question. And when he asked the question, I was like, yo, that is a dope podcast episode. And so the question kind of stumped her, but it gave her a chance to reflect on her life. And that's what we're kind of going to do on this episode. Do some reflections, but also talk about just life in general and how we see things. And maybe we saw things at one particular point in time of our life as opposed to now. The question is, you're in a restaurant, you're dining by yourself, you look towards the door and you see someone walk in the door and it's a familiar face. It's you, but it's the younger version of you. They look at you, you smile at them, they come and they walk and they have a seat at your table. And now you have to talk to them about what they should do in their life. So that's what I want to start. That's where I want to start. Britt, what would be one of the first things that you would tell the younger version of you?
It's a good question.
So before you answer, I'm not going to give out your age, but let's just say the 20-year-old version of Britt walks in and has a seat.
No, that's a good question. I mean, there's so many things I would like to tell her.
Oh, and we're going to get into them.
So many. But I think the number one thing is be selfish. To be selfish. I think there's a good chunk of my life in general, but especially like relationships or like dating, I gave way too much. And not saying like you can't, you have to give or you have to be a certain way, but I think I put others before me way more than I should have. And probably would have been a completely different outcome of where I am now had I just been a little more selfish in my 20s and early 30s.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
I think I would definitely tell myself to stop and smell the roses more. At the time of this recording, I'm 53 years old. Um, while none of us know how long we have left on this planet, I probably have as many years ahead of me as I have behind me. Some might say you probably have more behind you than you have ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be the case. Again, nobody know. I plan to live till I'm 150, but I mean, plans can change.
Right.
But I would say the one thing that I think I've done, particularly over the last 10, maybe 15 years of my life, so for these past 10 to 15 years, is I think I've done more reflecting and understanding who I was at certain stages of my life and being very appreciative of who I was and then how that got me to where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes when you're running, to quote Nipsey Hussle, when you're running a lap, sometimes you're not focused on anything else around you other than the path that you're running.
Right.
So you don't look at the building to your left or your right. You don't look at that smiling face. You don't look at that comforting hand that's slowly not touching you, but pushing you from a loved one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me, I would definitely tell myself the 20-year-old version of 12 Kyle to, definitely smell the roses as I'm going along. I don't want anybody to think that I'm not appreciative of what has happened because I am. And I would be very appreciative in giving the game or the knowledge to the younger version of me. But I think I definitely probably didn't smell enough roses because when you're blazing a trail for yourself, sometimes you're in go mode all the time, so you never really stop and slow down to kind of see what it is that you've accomplished
Right.
because you accomplished so much along the way.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah.
So I think you mentioned relationships, and we'll probably touch on that a little later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you think about something that you would tell yourself if you would tell the younger version of yourself. So the next question I have is, what would you tell your younger self to run from or walk away from? Maybe I shouldn't use the word run. Walk away from.
Depends on how fast you need to get away. But are we speaking in general or are we speaking on relationships?
Whatever fits in that category.
What to walk away from?
What do you think you would tell the younger version of yourself to walk away from?
Whew. I'm trying to think of
Because I think there's probably a couple of things that we all would want to walk away from. Or it could be some people that we want to walk away
it's
from.
definitely a person.
Well, I mean, you can name the person if you want. I mean, it's a million people going to hear this podcast, so it's okay.
Yeah, I won't say the exact name, but
Okay.
definitely a particular ex.
Okay.
And
X.
we will use run from, not walk. Run
Okay.
expeditiously. Don't look back.
Okay.
Just
Well.
yeah, that trail you were talking about where you just looking forward. Looking forward.
Mm-hmm.
No detours, no nothing. Keep it going until you run out of gas. Because I can't really think of anything that I needed to walk away from. I think
Okay.
I think it was really a relationship that
Okay.
did that. Mm-hmm.
Do you think that relationship, if you had walked away from it, would have changed a whole bunch of things for you
Yes,
or a few things for you?
a lot.
Okay. Okay. That
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. That makes sense.
A lot. Everything from where I'm located to having not been where I thought I would be in many
Mhm.
aspects. Help mentally, financially, like everything. I think it took me steps backwards.
Okay,
What I originally wanted for myself.
that's fair. Um, I can't say that there's somebody I would run from because I don't think I had that many people in my life that I would
Yes.
that was on me. The chest hairs.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, she was there for she was there for a short minute. She was there for a couple of weeks. Um, probably, you know what? Speaking of women, probably that stalker chick. I would run from her. I'd be like, "Hey,
Oh,
bruh,
yeah.
you gonna meet one of them ones, and you know, get away, get away quick." Um, and for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I told the story. It's on an episode of the 12 Kyle podcast, and the episode is called "Crazy Chick." So look it up when you finish listening to this episode. It's probably about 20 minutes long. It's a story of me and a stalker, and it was comical to say the least. And I didn't see none of the signs or anything. I was just oblivious to everything. I wasn't married at the time or anything like that. But yeah, I probably that's a good one, Britt. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, I'd get away from her. I'd get away from her.
Oh,
She wasn't around long, but she was around long enough. And I'm like,
I
damn, I'm
forgot
glad
all
I ain't
about
touch her.
that because the hairy chest story sticks out more to me
Oh
than the
yeah,
crazy
yeah,
chick, but I remember that story.
the episode about the hairy chest chick. That episode was called Blind Date. You can check that one out as well. That was crazy time. I had a good single career. Um, so what would you tell your younger self about money and finance?
Mm, don't be afraid of it.
Mm,
Don't be afraid of it. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially if you weren't versed in anything, you weren't explained anything by a certain age. If you were surrounded by people who did not get along because of finances, it could definitely put you backwards. So just to not be afraid to handle it, not be
mhm.
afraid to um, look beyond what you know in finances.
I would say, I would definitely tell myself to invest,
Hmm.
invest, invest, invest. I was late on the investment game, and
Hmm.
like I really, especially now knowing what I know about money, especially given the fact that Britt and I are parents.
Hmm.
Um, I have four. Britt has one son. I have three sons and a daughter, and that college fund, man. Listen,
Uh,
if you put a couple of dollars away for college for this kid,
yeah.
it will save you a lot in the long run.
Hmm.
Um, I would definitely do that. I would definitely tell myself, hey,
Hmm.
invest in Apple. this,
Yeah,
this,
let's get
this,
specific. Let me tell you what to invest in.
yeah. Let me tell you what to invest in. This company called Apple. Yeah, you put
Mhm.
put the house on
Yep.
that. You'll
Yep.
be okay in the
Absolutely.
long run.
Hmm.
What would you tell yourself, the younger version of yourself, about family?
Mm. Um, 'Cause this is actually something I currently internally am
Okay.
telling myself. But I would definitely say it earlier on. But you're going to upset people, probably. Not saying I'm doing anything to disappoint my family, but
Hmm.
don't make your decisions based off of making your family happy. If you want to live here, if you want to, not do this, okay, you're not going to please everybody. So live your life for yourself. Don't make moves based on you don't want to upset them because you rather live here than here. Okay.
Hmm.
You're going to look back and be like, well, at least I'm miserable where I'm at, but at least I didn't make, at least she's happy because I decided to stay. No, make the move.
Right. Right. Um, I would tell the younger version of myself about family. That family is everything. Um, you don't get but one family.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any control over who is family, but everybody that is family ain't gonna treat you like family.
Yep.
I think that's very important to always remember.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can be born into a family, but not everybody is family. But to me, family is everything, and it's all of what you make it. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to demand certain things. I think I've been. Well, I'm not gonna say I think. I know I've been blessed to have a beautiful family.
Mm-hmm.
The family that I've helped create and the family in which I came from.
Mm-hmm.
And I would definitely say enjoy and love on your family, always, because family at the end, and it's something I tell my kids all the time. At the end of the day, that's all you have. If
Absolutely.
you ain't got nothing else, you got family.
Exactly.
And, the way we were raised was to, take care of each other, look out for each other. And that's the same thing I want for my kids
Mm-hmm.
when they get older and when I check up out of here. Um, I would definitely want that. I would
Mm-hmm.
definitely want that. What would you tell your younger self about friendships?
That's one thing that's interesting because I like all my friends. Like I don't have any. Mm,
Oh, you supposed to like them.
oh,
I
I
would
know,
think
but you
that
know what I'm saying? Like I don't really have anything that's like
hmm
that really stands out because I've never. I just don't. I just don't continue friendships with people who don't serve me, and that sounds weird to say. Who aren't on the same page as me. I won't say serve
Okay.
me because I'm not looking for my friends to serve me. You get what
Right,
I'm
right.
saying.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
just to make sure in the earlier days, make sure your friendships are intentional.
Mm,
Not to just it's cool to have friends that you kick it with and is nothing more than that, but having intentional friendships will get you further than just hanging out. If you have friendships where you guys talk about meaningful things, you'll probably get where you want to be faster than just shooting the shit with everybody.
right, right. Um, I would definitely tell my younger self that the friendships that you have now will be the same friendships that you will have later on in life, and cherish them. They're just as important now
Mhm.
as they will. In fact, in a lot of ways, they will be more important down the road
Mhm.
because you would have lived similar life experiences and gone through certain things,
Mhm.
and you would have watched your friends grow, and subsequently, your friends would have watched you grow. And so there's a level of pride, there's a level of encouragement that you want to give to them.
Mhm.
There's a level of just being there for the friends. And I think when you do that and it's reciprocated as it should be between friends, it's
Absolutely.
a beautiful thing. But I would definitely tell my younger self, like, enjoy these friendships, because
Mhm.
these friendships, you'd be surprised. These friendships, and I know that I'm rare in a sense because, like, I have a lo a lot of my friends are the same friends, like, that I've
Mhm.
had my whole life, like,
Right.
never lost them. And I just assumed I went through a lot of my life assuming that everybody else had that, and they didn't. And so I
No.
feel very, blessed to say that.
Mhm.
Um, and we're still tight to this day. Still tight to this day. Um, what would you tell your younger self about parenthood?
Um, that it's an amazing thing. It's um a beautiful thing, but also there is no manual to it.
Facts.
There's no manual. People can tell you everything they want to tell you about how you should, what's gonna that's their story, it's not yours.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, you make it what you want to make it, and it's amazing.
I agree 1,000%. I would tell myself about parenthood, it is the most rewarding job that you could ever have. And it's a job that you you push yourself to the point where you never want to fail at it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really in your determination as to whether or not you fail or not, because only your child or children can decide whether or not you were a great parent or not.
Right.
But it is the most rewarding job that you'll ever have.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, I would tell my younger self, like, you've lived life and you've had a great life up until this point, and the way that you saw the world looked a certain way. But once you have that child, that first child, you're a different person.
Mm-hmm.
You are a totally different person. I no knock, no shade. I don't know how people could have children at 15, 16 years old and have a perspective, because we were older when we had our children.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you appreciate so many other things. And so yeah, I would definitely tell my younger self, don't rush to become a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm talking to my 20-year-old self, then I would then become a parent, 6 years later?
Mm.
And even a lot happened in between those
Yeah.
6 years between 20 and 26.
Mm-hmm.
But enjoy it and understand that, life, it is truly life-changing, life-altering, life-enhancing,
Mm-hmm.
as far as parenthood.
Absolutely.
And you get no days off.
None. You don't get to check out, clock out. It's
No, it's
oh, you're
24/7,
sick. It does
365.
not matter.
No, it doesn't matter. And I mean, like, you want to pour the world into your child or children. And
Mm-hmm.
I call mine the heart has 4 chambers, and each of them are a chamber of my heart. And the crazy thing is that your children, child or children, truly are your heart outside of your body, walking
Mm-hmm.
and talking.
Yep.
And you could go from wanting to choke them out 1 minute to hugging them and squeezing them till you squeezed everything out of them.
Yep.
And so and those range of emotions could be within minutes.
Seconds.
Yeah, seconds. What would you tell your younger self about love? Don't do it.
Um. Ooh.
As you think. I should play the Jeopardy music right here.
Right. You should. This is tough. This is tough. Love is. What would I say about love?
Yeah, because I'm assuming that the younger version of you may or may not have experienced true love at
If
20.
we're
Some
talking
of us
about
do, some of us don't.
20-year-old Brittany, she hadn't
Yeah.
yet. She hadn't
Okay.
yet.
So yeah. So there you go.
Give it about 3-4 more years. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, I would probably say that love is not going to put you in a place where you're on the back burner.
Okay.
Love is going to uplift you. So if you don't feel that, run. But yeah, people have different ideas of what love is, and that's fine. Love could be one thing to somebody, one thing to somebody else, but what love is not going to do is make you step down from where you are supposed to be.
Okay. I like that. That's a bar right there, Britt. What would I tell my younger self about love? I would definitely explain, like, there's different kinds of love. There's the love that you have for your fellow man or woman.
Mm-hmm.
There's the kind of love that you have for your parents and your siblings and your family and your friends. And then there's that deeper love that you have for a significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Love, more than anything else, is a verb. It's what we do.
Happening. Uh-huh.
It's a verb. It's what we do. And, it's important that you understand that love evolves, or at least it should.
Yes, it should.
And just because you give love doesn't always mean that the same love or even stronger love is going to be reciprocated.
Absolutely.
But in saying that, love yourself enough to understand where love is and isn't. And if there's no love where you are, go somewhere else where there's love.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. That self-love, loving yourself to understand that this is not love.
right.
Yes.
And that's hard to do for some because
Yes.
on the surface, you see someone and whether or not you're attracted to them, what they bring to the table, all the attributes, all the intangibles, all of that could be great.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not the love that you need and the love that you desire, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because part of that love that people think is love, but it's not, is, you know, couples go through problems, so
Right.
these are just our problems. No, like, I mean, yes, couples do have problems.
Mhm.
It's fine. But like, if it's disrespect, it's continuous, you're always arguing. Like, no, you got to recognize there's something not right there. It's not love. We get too comfortable and we just call it love, and it's not.
Mhm. I agree. I
Mhm.
agree. And that level of comfort can be it can go from being comfortable to crippling
Yep.
within a matter of moments.
Yeah.
And you don't want to live like that. You don't want to live like
Not
that.
at all.
Um so what would you tell your younger self about relationships? Because you mentioned relationships earlier. Um I would assume at 20 most of us would have been in at least one or two serious relationships.
One.
Okay, well one. That's cool.
Just one by then.
Okay. But what would you tell your younger self at least what to expect going forward,
Going
what
full.
they have to look forward to as far as relationships and your overall thoughts on that?
Ooh. Um, well, to make it very clear, the love,
Okay.
the one that where I said I experienced love,
Mhm.
that's not the one I want to run from.
Okay.
That came
Right.
that came later. But with relationships, don't lose yourself.
Mm.
Um, it's okay to want to be there for the person you're with and to show them that they have your support, but when it's time to let go, or if you have inkling that it's time to let go, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the end,
Mhm.
but understanding that sometimes people aren't in the right place to give you what you need, and it's not your fault.
Facts. Say that part again. It's not your fault.
It's not your fault. Sometimes I'm one of those people. No, I've been single for 5 years, so this might
Mhm.
have changed. I don't know, but
Right, right,
back then, but not so far back where I'm 20.
right.
Um, I was that person where, like, no, I'm here. Like, you don't have to go this way and this and that. You can do that right here while you're here, but not realizing
Mhm.
some people need to be alone to figure their shit out. And it has nothing to do
Facts.
with you. It's not that you did anything wrong. It's not that you're not a good person, good woman, good man. That has nothing to do with you. That's their own individual work they have to do.
Mhm.
Because we get caught up in that ride or die. And move along.
Right, right.
Um,
I agree. And no, you're preaching for real. Um, I would tell I would tell my younger self about relationships that make sure that you give the relationship 110% of you. Um, and then in doing that, understanding that when you're in a relationship, there's no guarantee that the person's going to give 110% to you in return. But also understand that any relationship, whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be, you're only going to get what you put into it.
mhm.
And I know that sounds cliche, but like I
Every single
remember What's that?
It's the truth. It's the same
Yeah,
thing when it comes to work or anything else you're
it,
doing. Whatever you
it
put
is.
into it is what you're going to get back.
It truly is, and I remember I had a friend, a female friend back in the day, and she was telling me about her boyfriend, and she was like, "I don't trust him." I was like, "Well," I mean, that just sounded so weird to me. The
Mhm.
fact that she said that she didn't trust him. I was like, "Well, y'all breaking up?" She was like, "No." I was like, "Why?" She was like, "Well, why would I?" I was like, "Cause you just said you don't trust him." I was like, "Why would you be with somebody you don't trust?" Like
Mhm.
that doesn't make to me. I couldn't reconcile that in my mind. But and I just tried to explain to her, like, look, if that's how you feel, I can't tell you that you're wrong.
Mhm.
You're just in the way that you feel, but understand that if that's how you feel, that's not what a relationship is.
No,
And
because you
so,
get caught up in that familiarity, that comfort,
hmm
and you don't
yeah,
want the new change because it's what I know. So I'll just deal with it, even though it's not what it's supposed to be.
and there's no way you can deal with it.
Mm,
If we're being honest, there's no way you can deal with it and keep your sanity.
Because then
So-
you start getting crazy. You start looking up this and that when they're active. Oh, they left me on red too long. Oh,
Mhm.
what is that in White Chicks where Marlon was at the bar? She goes, Matt
Mhm.
Quest said it takes 6 minutes. You got you took eight
Right.
minutes and 30 seconds. He's like, don't you think I would need more than 2 minutes if I was
Mhm.
but then you start sounding
Exactly.
crazy like that because
Out of
I,
character.
I don't want to be with somebody that I can't trust them. So every single that's draining. That's tiring.
Mhm.
That's energy I don't
It 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 is truly counterproductive to who you want to be and what you want your relationship to be.
Mhm.
So I would definitely tell myself, like, look, pour into these relationships, but also set a level of expectation for yourself and for your significant other for
Mhm.
what it is that you want. And when you're not there, work towards there, or work apart, and move on.
Mhm.
Um, I would also tell my younger self is somebody told me this a long time ago, and I've seen it work out for myself, but I can't necessarily say that it's totally true. But they said basically, if you start in high school on through your college years and your young adult years, your relationships should get better each time. So basically, the guy that you dated when you were 17 and y'all dated for 3 years, y'all broke up, the next guy, the next relationship at 24 should be better because, in essence, you would have been better.
Mhm.
And then that relationship go for a couple of years, and then that next relationship should be better than the first two, even though those are different stages of your life. Again, I was able to attest to it based on my dating history, but
Mhm.
I know that that's skewed because, of my circumstances, because I
Mhm.
met the person that I ended up dating in college and we've been married for 25 years.
Right. Mhm.
So I know that's probably more, it's an exception to the norm, but the
Mhm.
the way that they explained it to me was like, you should get progressively better in your relationships. I've seen it happen and I've seen it not happen,
Mhm.
but the thing I would tell myself is the theory is that you should. Your level of expectation is that you should. And
Mhm.
at the very least, you should not be making the same mistakes because we all make mistakes in relationship, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean cheating or anything like that. But your whatever you did wrong at 20 in that relationship, you shouldn't be doing the same thing at 24.
Right. Mhm. I agree to
So,
that.
um, what would you tell your younger self about religion?
Mm.
What would you tell your younger self about religion? Because I'm assuming, and I don't know this to be true, because for as long as I've known you, I don't think I've ever asked you about church. I'm
No, we've
assuming that you
never
went
had
to
that
church,
discussion.
and we talked about everything else but church. I'm assuming that you went to church at some point in time in your life.
Absolutely.
Um, so what would
Children's
you tell
choir,
your
by the way.
okay, yeah, same here, same here.
Mhm.
What would you tell your younger self about church? Oh, excuse me, about religion?
Um, see,
More
that's where I
Jeopardy
think I
music.
really need the Jeopardy music because, um, I'm a person who respects all religions. I don't force religion on anyone. I also don't want religion forced on me.
Right.
Not saying like I can't learn about something else, but it's just not something I feel that needs to be forced on anybody. Like people will find their way the way they want to find their way,
Facts.
and that's how it goes. Um, but to I want to say don't lose faith because it's not really that. It's more don't forget
Mm.
about religion.
Mm.
Feel that at some point when I was younger, after 20, that just wasn't part of my life for a while. And then it became so much not a part of my life that almost troublesome's not the word, weary of picking it back up. And, um, I'm also one of those people who doesn't believe you have to be in a church to go ahead and do that. Some people think you have to go. That all that is a building where you could be doing similar stuff at home or wherever else,
Facts.
learning, reading, worship, everything else. So just don't be afraid to go back if you veer off the road.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I would say my answer is actually very similar to yours. Um, as someone who is very spiritual, not necessarily. Well, I can't say I'm religious. I am religious, but I mean, like, I can't quote you a bunch of Bible scriptures or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I'm very spiritual.
Well,
And I had
before you continue, for me,
Mhm.
religion, spirituality, it's
Yeah, some people have it.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Some
I put
people
it all together. If you want to call it
put it all
religion,
together.
spiritual, I book it all together. Go ahead.
I think you can separate the two to some degree.
Mhm.
But I am someone who is, I believe in God, and um, I believe that He guides me. The thing I will tell my younger self about religion is don't stray too far away from your religious foundation and your spiritual foundation.
Mhm.
And I think that's where, like you just mentioned, in my life where I got away from that, shit got kind of crazy.
Mhm.
But that was the
You went to
if you
Freaknik.
get too far. Listen, it was a lot of religion going on in Freaknik. We had Bible study. We
I'm
had
sure you did have Bible study.
we we had communion. Man, it was a time. I saw a baptism on Peachtree Street. No lie.
Okay.
I mean, it was beautiful. I can't tell you what got baptized, but it was a beautiful it was a beautiful thing. But yeah, it was I would say, yeah, don't stray too far away from your uh spiritual and religious foundation, because I think that's where, just personally, I
Mhm.
could see the younger version of 12 Kyle getting caught up.
Mhm.
Um what would you tell yourself, the younger version of you, about the world,
The
the
world.
world around us, and the world that, you know, you saw at that age, and then what you saw going forward?
Mm. The world is beautiful and ugly at the same time.
At the
um,
same damn time.
Same damn time. That there's so many worlds within the world.
Mhm.
I mean, and I was somebody I was lucky enough to go to India when I was in middle school. So I
Okay.
got to experience a different country. A lot of people don't even get to do that as adults. Um, but that just because you're in United States, every state, like hell, California, northern and southern feel like two totally different states, two totally
Mhm.
different cultures, everything. But every place, every state is its own world almost. Um, there's just so many different things, but they're also some are ugly, some are beautiful. It just depends on
Right.
how you experience it. But to not be afraid of any of it.
Mhm. I tell myself about the world is one thing I would definitely say is that the world is going to keep spinning, and things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. Tragic things are going to happen. But at the end of the day, the world is going to keep spinning. And so it's incumbent upon you to be able to handle the good and the bad. And you have to be able to handle the two, because there are going to be points in time in your life where you literally feel like the world is on top of you and you can't breathe. And every bad thing that is happening and it's only happening to you. There are going to be times where you feel like that in life. And then there are going to be times where every shot you take is going in. You're Steph Curry. Like you can't miss. Everything is good. The thing about each of those things is that the world still is going to keep spinning. The sun's going to come up. It's going to go down. Be blessed in understanding that it's a blessing to see that sun come up and that sun go down, because everybody's not going to get that opportunity every day. And so, but the world is going to keep going. It's going to be some great things that's going to happen. It's going to be some awful things going to happen. How you handle that and everything in between is on you. And whether or not you get too emotionally high about it or emotionally down about it, the world still is going to keep spinning. And people are going to tell you that they care, and they really don't. Most people don't care beyond themselves or their front door. So once you have that perspective, and the thing I tell my kids all the time is that, you could literally and figuratively go outside and kick and scream and fall on the ground and yell because something didn't go your way. But the world going to keep spinning. It's going to keep spinning. And it's not stopping for you. It ain't going to stop for me. It ain't stopping for you. It ain't stopping for nobody. It has never stopped. And so your best bet is to handle it the best way that you can. Couple more before we get out. Let's brighten it up a little bit. What would you tell your younger? Huh?
Said, you getting kind of dark.
Yeah. I don't want to end on a dark note. What would you tell the younger version of Britt about fashion? Because I'm sure you had some. You probably you posted a picture in the group chat the other day of the younger Britt, and you was not looking like Britt. But I'm sure, there's probably some pictures of you in some hairdos and some outfits that was fly back then. May not be as fly now. But what would you tell your younger version about fashion?
No, it was a little bit of both. I was cute, and then I was like, "What the hell?" That fashion isn't everything. Back then, I feel like by the time I reached 20, I had some, of course, moments in middle school where I thought I had to have these shoes, this shirt too. I had to have every single thing my friends had because that was the it thing. And I had moments where I was, I felt like less than because I didn't have it. But that's not what makes you you. Of course, I know that now, but
right. Right.
Especially the pressures of adolescence, thinking you got to look a certain way and know certain people. Right. Fashion is just something that's going to change in a few years, and you're not even going to look back at this. It's going to be a totally different wardrobe, and you're still going to be the same person you are, whether you got these shoes or not, whether you got, the JanSport backpack or not. That was the thing too. That was part of it. If you didn't have that JanSport backpack.
Didn't we talk about that in the group chat?
I don't think we didn't talk about JanSports, did we?
I could have sworn. Well, maybe me and Baylor did. I had a conversation with somebody about a JanSport backpack.
That's funny. Yeah, but you had to have it. You had to have the JanSport backpack back then. And regardless, you're the same person. It doesn't matter. And okay, so what if people you feel like, because it wasn't like anybody ever said stuff to me. So what? You're gonna feel like that for a little bit. It's gonna change. You're still the same person. Comfort's better anyway.
Right. The thing I would tell my younger self about fashion, just a couple of words: wear it with pride. Rock it with pride, because you're gonna look back on these photos and wonder why and how
Why the
you
hell?
ever thought it was dope. But your only recourse is just to say, man, hey, it was dope back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know why I had a high top fade, but I had to rock it because it was dope back then.
Yeah.
And there are pictures of me that my kids look at and they're like, Dad, you had a high top fade. Hey, it was dope back then.
Right.
Fortunately, I don't have any Jerry curl because I never had a Jerry curl. I wanted a Jerry curl. Didn't get, my mom wouldn't let me get one. And I'm not mad at her for it.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm not mad because I still have my hair. Shout out to all my friends who don't have hair, which I didn't really know until the other day. I have quite a few friends who don't have hair. But that's another story for another day. But yeah, whatever the fashion is, rock it with pride, because there's going to be a time when you look back and be like, man, I probably didn't need all those Jordans. But like you said, like to your point, not having Jordans in '88 bothered me, but because we couldn't afford it, but I can afford them now, so I buy the Jordans that I want. So I got them. It's just later in life. But even that, it doesn't make me. It doesn't make me. Now, clothes don't make the man or the woman.
Nope.
So
absolutely not.
Let's see, one more. What would you tell your younger self about music?
I knew you were gonna say music. I knew
something we talk about all the time.
All the time. That you still gonna be listening to the same shit you were listening to.
1000%.
Nothing new. You still gonna be listening to Prince, probably even more than you did before. You're not gonna want to hear anything after about age 30. You're gonna be listening to stuff that came out from your age 30 and before. It doesn't get a whole lot better after a certain point. So just Prince it is. 70s, 80s, 90s it is.
It don't get old. The music don't get old. I would definitely, I would tell my younger self, I would lean in like this. I'd be like, hey, come here. In the 90s, that music was the shit. And it is still the shit. Even as you get older. It doesn't change. I tell them just like that. Like you will be stuck in the 90s. And you don't understand this now, but because I was 20 in the 90s. But yeah, you will be stuck in the 90s.
Yeah.
Music wise. And you'll be cool.
You'll be playing the 90s like it just came out.
Right.
It'll be 30 years later and you will still be playing this like it just dropped yesterday.
Like it just dropped yesterday. Like it just dropped yesterday.
Absolutely. So, yeah. There's no change in that game for you.
Yeah, none at all. And trust me, you will be totally cool with it.
Yeah.
You'll be totally satisfied. Not bothered whatsoever. Not bothered one bit.
Yeah, you're going to be very excited to talk about that. Take pride in it.
To any and everybody who will listen. Oh man, this has been dope. This has been dope. I'm glad I thought about this episode. I just wanted to get you on here so we could talk about it. Again, the podcast is called Sean Stockman's On That Note. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Jamel Hill. It was a great episode. The episode is kind of long. It's probably about an hour and 45 minutes. I watched the YouTube version. He has some really, he's got a really good podcast. He has some really dope questions. And I just thought that question, the way that he phrased it, he didn't use this format in which I did, but the way that he phrased it was dope. And I was like, once I heard it, I was like, oh, that's an episode. I was like, let me hit up Britt. Like, you want to record? We can talk about this. Because you can talk about this all day.
All day. Especially that. I can talk about that all day.
Exactly. So on that note, before we get out of here, tell folks where you talk about it all day. Where they can find that at.
I can talk about this all day podcast, available wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can follow me on Instagram. I could talk about this all day podcast. And I say this, Twitter, Britty 18, when all I do now is just drop my show there. TikTok, Britt Renee _ all day. But that Instagram is where you can really find me.
For sure, for sure. Well, you guys have been listening long enough. You know where to find me, 12 Kyle across the board, 12 Kyle on social media, 12 Kyle podcast. You can find this podcast wherever you're listening or watching, YouTube as well, all streaming platforms. New episodes drop every Thursday. Also, the Rap Soul podcast, where Britt and I quite often talk about music. That's my music podcast. Make sure that you check that out as well. That's going to do it for us. So for my girl, Britt, I am your boy, 12 Kyle. This has been another edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. We will catch you guys next time. 5,000. Yeah.
Thanks again for listening to this episode of the 12 Kyle podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and share this podcast with a friend who needs the 12 Kyle podcast in their life. Every listen, every download, and every share helps us grow. Thanks for being a part of the 12 Kyle podcast community. We appreciate your support. We will catch you next time. 5,000.